Good day. I was gonna say good morning, but it might not be morning where you're from. Competency questions. Tell me about a time where you had to use your creativity to solve a problem. Tell me about a time where you experienced conflict with a colleague and how did you handle that situation? So here's what often happens when we're faced with these kinds of questions in an interview. Could you now tell us about a time you had to use your creativity to solve a problem? I've absolutely no idea what she just said. How on earth do you creatively solve a problem? Yes, well, there was a challenge at work, a rift between colleagues, very complex, and I had to come in and leverage my responsibility to help bridge the rift. And it turned out well. Don't tell me you've never been in this situation. These kinds of questions allow the interviewer to see whether you've actually prepared for your interview. So, before you go to your interview, make a list of 3 or 4 challenging situations that you resolved creatively by thinking outside of the box. Now, here's the really good part. When talking about these challenging situations, use the STAR approach. S, situation. Set the scene. Describe the situation for your interviewer. You don't need to be Steve Jobs to be able to storytell. T, the task. Now you need to take your interviewer one step further in the story. What was the task? What was the challenge? A, action. Here's where you talk about what you did. Here is where you detail why you're the hero of that story. And then R, result. This is the one that people forget all the time, but it's actually one of the most important. Result is where you talk about the so what. What was the result? What happened after you took your action? Let them know the happily ever after. Before going to an interview, make a list of 3 or 4 challenging situations that you had to creatively resolve and talk about them using the STAR approach. You'll come across as a real star with your interviewer.